What's going on, everybody? Average Arcader here, and welcome back to Zombie Apocalypse. We've done pretty good. We've got the blaze. What was the name of this again? The blaze sprayer. Let's see. I've got some scrap. We should have, since the event didn't proc. Let's take the time to get everything together. We'll make a full suit of the leather armor. See what it looks like. I already got this. You know what? Let's pick up this as well. I mean, I have allowed so much destruction in my base. Do I have anything left? Let's go ahead and pick up this as well. Let me see if I had any coal of any kind. Nope. Because I want to finish smelting that scrap so that we can go ahead and take this with me. Yeah, I want to see how well these brains in a jar work when you throw them. Let me do that. We'll take that. Let me take some of these. See, this siege weapon, like I said, the siege breaker, awesome weapon. Seeing that you have to defeat that what was it, the demolisher to get it, I can see why they made it so powerful. All right, then let's go ahead and build. I already got the pants, so let's do the boot. See how it looks. No, I mean, not bad design. Again, though, it's one of those, if we were starting this kind of from the beginning, like we didn't already build a base, we started a new world, put this on. I mean, it's definitely something you would definitely get, seeing that you're going to have a ton of that leather armor if you're proccing the moon event. But if you already got armor, it's kind of pointless to make because it's only slightly better than leather. So even if I had iron armor, I'd still be better shape. I do think it looks cool though. It just I feel like the custom armor should have been a little stronger than the average armor that you would start with. Is that done? Or, yeah, that's done. Don't know if I have enough though. Let's put. Do I have space to put? Okay, let's put. So it looks cool. All right, let's see if we can make. Okay, so let's do the chest, helmet, legs. Okay, we did have enough. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, I actually like the look of this. And this is slightly stronger than iron. Now, this is a suit of armor worth grinding out. And if you are grinding out the moon events, you're going to be getting a ton of that scrap. So between the weapons and this is something good to grab. I kind of like this one. The leather armor is nice, but I just don't think it's going to be useful because if you mine even a halfway decent mine shaft, you'll be easily have enough iron to make a suit of iron, which you're probably going to do before having it proc anyway, so you have your best chance of surviving the horde. So the leather armor is nice, but it's weaker than probably your first set of armor. Most people skip making leather armor and go straight for iron. So it's kind of I feel like it's kind of useless to make it just slightly stronger than leather armor. I think that first thing should have been slightly stronger than iron armor, the first one, and then this should be slightly stronger than diamond. And then you would have, I feel like you would have had a better parallel with that. All right, then. Both of them look good. Now, let's go to the book, because I think we have everything we're going to have. I'll leave the boots on. Since the scrap boots are stronger than these, we'll leave those on and swap out the rest of that with my diamond gear. Then we'll go to the book, change the settings, back to 100%, so that we can try out all the equipment. Well, at least all the weapons. One last time before we call it a day. Okay. All right, so we've got, I'll go ahead and put you here. We still got food. We still got the bow. We've got our blaze sprayer. We got 2 of the siege breaker weapons. Brain jar, all of it. Okay, we are good. We'll start out. We'll start out on the top of the tower. Mainly so that we can take out every single time the moon curse thing hits. We have that big boss character that drops the brain in the jar that pops. I like to take him out, and then after that, we'll come down and just take on what we can. So we have some regen. Should have another one. I mean, I've got those ones up there, but I think I should have another one that's... Yes. Let's take another one of these. Where's the sun? Okay, we're still midday. So that means we can still prep a little bit. Fill in this gap. I mean, if it's the Demolisher, he's still going to destroy it, but this can at least help mediate until the Demolisher comes through. Is that, or I don't know. Should we maybe try going over to the? Well, no, because I want to see how effective the brain in the jar decoy is. Being up on the tower, we can actually test it out and see how well it works. Like, in the end, we can't just come down here and just start fighting things. Because once we come down here, they're going to be spawning all over us. Almost time. All right. We got everything we wanted to try. Then the only other thing also I didn't try was the dynamite. But I don't have enough gunpowder. See, I got like 3 there. I got little bits and pieces scattered throughout the base. I just didn't have enough. And I'm like, I'm not going to really worry about it. Okay. Then I would have to go get sand. I mean, I don't know. That's like one of the only ones I'm like, it's dynamite. We don't really need to test it out. Change the door because that's going to do a lot. Anything else we want to maybe grab? Oh, we have more scrap in here. It's like we already got plenty of food. Like I said, since this is gonna be probably our last video, we'll see what we can do, pretty much until we either survive the night or they take us out to the point where we just can't get anything. Well, we've got some backup stuff in the mine shaft, so push come to shove, we can still keep fighting. We're probably also gonna burn down a good chunk of the base when I start using the blaze sprayer. So this bridge, it's probably going to be gone. So I may not be able to get over there. Here we go. Was not expecting that. We need to get out of here. Ooh. Okay. I was not expecting it to spawn up there with us. Range jars do work well. Holy cow, they look like they last a while too. Dude, even they go straight for them. It's definitely a good way of mediating. Jeez, how long do those things last? I can't even get close. Alright, let's keep doing what we were doing. Dude! I like those brains in the jar. Oh my. The garden. Maybe we can finally get a machete. No, I don't see one. Dude, how long is that thing gonna last? Well, getting those brains in the jar is how you actually survive these things, man. Without having to hide. Hitchhiker? Definitely wasn't the glutton. That was the glutton. Love that. Dude, still no machete. Dude, like, no wonder you have to get that drop through that boss fight character or monster. Ooh, all right, you. Drop that machete. Man. Oh, brain in the jar. It's broken. We'll put another one out there. Ooh, spitter. Take him out, and then we'll see if we can get another brain in the jar out there. Holy cow. Is that how it's supposed to work? Was it broken all those other times? Are they like broken and they just couldn't get to it or something? Let's see. Yeah. Okay, now it makes sense now, because I was wondering why. Ooh, snap. Gonna die. It's all good. Ah, that's what pulled me back. There's a glutton up here. Makes sense. All right. And that's gonna kind of end our little playthrough here. We pretty much tried everything. Got everything done. For a second there, I thought the brain in a jar was broken. It might have been we just simply were able to take out the other ones before... Oh, there we are. Got some more brains in the jar. Very, 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 very nicely done, I think this is. I would love to get a little bit more weapons out of this that we can use, like by making them with the stuff. Like, I really hope they do either an update or a sequel to this, adding more boss characters that we can summon. Definitely. I managed to get the bow back again. Definitely more boss characters that we can summon. Slow the spawn rates down during the Cursed Moon. Like, not just by a little bit, just to give us enough time to kind of pace it if you're by yourself. Maybe if they can kind of work in that the game kind of pays attention to how many people are actually playing and then kind of cranking it up based off that. Or maybe even like you could select that with the book. Like, hey, one person's playing, so it still can be a lot, just a little bit so that we can properly pace. Granted, if you know what you're doing and you get the right setup, you should be fine. Like I said, it's very doable by yourself. You just got to make sure to farm out and get those better weapons. Like I said, this right here, this Siege Breaker is epic, and all you got to do is defeat the Demolisher, and it has a high chance of dropping. Almost every single time I took out a Demolisher, it dropped one of these. Did I take him out? Why am I still getting hurt? Okay, well, looks like I'm dying again. Yeah. But pretty much every single time I took out a Demolisher, I got it. So it's got a very high chance of dropping when you take one of those out. And once you got one of those, crowd control is much easier. Like, you're going to be able to do a good amount of damage as well as keep the hordes from overwhelming you. So it's very much doable by yourself if you have the right setup. Again, I would completely not worry about gathering the cursed leather armor. It's by the time you get that, you could have just went ahead and just mined out. Like, even if you started a brand new world, you could have easily just mined out and got yourself a set of iron armor already. I don't think it's really worth it, to tell you the truth, to grind it out. Now, if you're starting from fresh, getting the scrap armor is, because it's slightly stronger than iron. So going ahead and making one of those, if you don't have diamonds or anything like that, I would go straight for that one. It seems like it'll be stronger. That one will give you your best chance as a survival. And I feel like the leather would be a waste of time. But other than that, I like how everything works. I guess if you set up the brain in the jar in a way where they can't really fully get to it, you'll pretty much be able to just sit there and farm out anybody. Because I think that's what happened. Somehow they got blocked from that one I threw over here, and I was taking them out before they could hit it. And eventually one of them actually hit it, and it blew up. Because for a second there, I'm like, there's no way it should work that way. But I think if, say, maybe we put... I'd have to test that. Like, see if we can figure out a way to put it out there to where they can see it, but they can't get to it. Mainly because the Demolisher can pretty much break anything, but not at his level. So maybe if we could, it has to be at his level. So maybe if you somehow got it like under the ground just slightly enough to where his attack can't get to it, I think you could make it work. That would be fun to maybe figure out. Maybe if you guys want, leave it in the comment section. Maybe we'll play around with something like that at another episode if you guys want. If not, we're going to move on to something else. But all in all, I had fun with this. I think this would be really fun if we brought some friends in here for sure. But also, if you have a world with a lot of builds that you don't want destroyed, make sure not to do it, because this is a very destructive one. Like the area that you're going to be fighting in is going to get destroyed from both your own stuff and them. So if you're attached to the area you're fighting in, be ready to be fixing things or moving to another area. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today. Huge shout out to my channel members, Elijah M4 Penguin and Louise Bain. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. And I will see you guys on the next playthrough. Average Arcader out.